There are many animated specials that stick with us. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, A Charlie Brown Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, all of these came out in the 60s, and yet all of these are still fondly remembered and frequently shown to this day. Well, the Christmas special that I watch every year and sticks with me isn't any of these. No, the one that stuck with me was called The Town Santa Forgot, released in 1993. 1993, really? I always thought it was from the 60s. Well, it has the cosy, nostalgic sensibilities of those other 60s specials. And it was also shown on Cartoon Network along with those other specials when I was young. Well, those and Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, but I ain't watching that again.
Grandpa's gonna suit the pants off for Santa, 'cause Grandma would have wanted him to. No pantalones.
The Town Santa Forgot was produced by Hanna-Barbera for the new Cartoon Network channel. This is a few years before Cartoon Network had any of their own proper series, as they were mostly just playing old Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes shorts around this time. So having a special produced just for them was kind of a big deal. The 22-minute special is narrated by Dick Van Dyke, who does an absolutely amazing job in the role. It does feel like you're being told a bedtime story, which is quite literally what's happening, as he's telling his grandkids the story of Jeremy Creek. Jeremy Creek is a massively greedy kid who owns every toy there is. This is also one of those Christmas specials where everything rhymes, which does make the narration of all the things he has pretty fun to listen to. So Jeremy Creek gets these toys by crying and whining and sucking his thumb. Basically, I'm blaming the parents here for enabling him. Although they do finally realise that they are enabling him and tell him enough is enough, they're not getting him any more toys. So Jeremy Creek decides that if he can't get these toys from his parents, he'll ask Santa for them. Then when Santa gets the giant list, he thinks it's not a person but a place because there's just so much stuff on the list. He searches for Jeremy Creek with his elves, one elf being named Pump so that it rhymes with swamp, except that still doesn't rhyme. Why not call him Chomp? Or you could have made someone Stomp, but you named an elf Pump instead. There's an elf out there getting bullied because he's been called Pump purely for the purpose of a rhyme. So they do find a place called Jeremy Creek that they've never delivered gifts to before. So Jeremy is all waiting for Christmas while the elves sing a very forgettable song. I mean, I watch this special every year, and every year I think, oh yeah, there's a bad song in this. Christmas Eve eventually comes, and Jeremy decides he wants more than just what he asked for. He's now simply going to wait on the roof and then take all of Santa's toys. Santa then flies by but misses Jeremy's house. Jeremy then gets all depressed. His mum and dad are like, we don't like you anyway, kid, we didn't get you anything, just shut up. He then watches TV and finds that all these little orphan kids who live in the swamp got all of his toys because they live in a place called Jeremy Creek. They say the reason this town gets missed is because it wasn't on Santa's route. Why was that? That's not part of the Santa mythology. That he's just missing some places out because he's following what, some kind of sat-nav? Was the town of Jeremy Creek Jewish or something? I just don't get it. Santa doesn't have a specific route. I don't know. I'm just becoming very doubtful about the legitimacy of this Santa mythology that they're portraying here. So Jeremy realises they got all his presents and goes mental. But then this little girl who is a pure caricature of a poor person. She looks like the little orphan girl from that Simpsons episode. And she's even got the little affected cough. So she thanks whoever wrote the letter and got them all the presents. Get this girl some healthcare, not toys. Also, it's not even like they were missed for any reason. The girl says that none of them wrote to Santa. If they had wanted toys that badly, they could have just written him a letter. So Jeremy gets all full of shame and realises he was greedy and is happy his presents went to people who need it. Then he sees Santa on his tree, but he's now all tiny. And he thanks Jeremy for his good deed and offers him any gift he wants. Jeremy says it's better to give than receive and is made Santa's official helper. Jeremy then gives away all his toys to other kids, furniture, his parents' credit cards, until their house gets repossessed and they have to live in the swamp. Okay, not really, but you can share without giving all your possessions away that your parents worked hard for. So Jeremy helps Santa until he's too big to get in the sleigh. Then we cut back to the old man telling the story and find out that he was Jeremy Creek all along. What a twist. And that's it. It's just a nice special. So if this video did unlock a deep untouched memory for you, or if you haven't seen it but are now interested, I do recommend giving it a watch. It's still shown on Boomerang each year, and it's pretty easy to find online otherwise. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.